And this one is called La Pâtisserie Rococo, which is a lighter version of the game Rococo, and it does have a different theme. The original has you designing dresses, whereas this one's going to have you creating desserts and putting those out on display in order to gain victory points. And the way this game works is that you're going to be using action cards in order to activate your chefs and assistants in order to do one of the various actions offered in the game. And one of those actions could be to hire more action cards, because the action cards do represent your different staff, but not all the different types of staff can perform all the actions. Chefs are going to be more expensive than your assistants, but of course they will have more privileges that they can grant you access to. Something that I really like about these action cards is that they don't only differ in the different roles, but each action card is also going to have its own special ability or benefit that when you use that action card to perform any of the various actions, you're also going to get the bonus on that card. But some of the other actions might be to buy different recipes, which you can see at the top of the board here. And whenever you do that, you're going to be placing it into one of the 3 slots on your own personal player board. And then you can also use actions to purchase more of your basic ingredients like flour, sugar, and butter. And these ones are just tracked on the left-hand side of your board. But then you can also use actions to buy special ingredients that are dual use, and they can be used for the different recipes that call for those ingredients, or they can also be used as toppings in order to decorate the different desserts that you create. Of course, there is a separate action in order to decorate, but before you do that, you're going to want to use an action in order to bake your dessert, and that's going to be moving it from the 3 slots at the top of your board into one of the cooling racks on the right-hand side of your board. But once you have a dessert created, you have a couple options to choose from, and these are different actions that you can perform. You can either decide to sell that dessert in order to get an amount of money multiplied by the victory points that that dessert would have granted you, or instead you can choose to display it in one of the different areas out on the main board. And that's going to grant you that dessert's victory points, but it can also help you with area majority in these different regions, which can grant you with different bonuses and victory points for the end of the game. There's also some other actions that allow you to offer better services or better tables to your guests, which will grant you with additional bonuses or alternative methods of getting victory points for the end of the game. And there are also some locations out on the board that you can only claim if you're able to achieve certain objectives. But the game continues like this, with players using those cards in order to take more actions and gain new types of cards. And the player with the most victory points at the end of the game is going to win the game. And if you do want to check this one out, I will have it linked down below.